Hello and welcome everyone to your Thanksgiving Eve edition of the Daily 8 on the News 8 Live Desk. Phil Penarski here with the top stories of the day. We're going to get right into things today as our first story takes us to Kentwood. Police there are searching for two girls who were last seen yesterday morning. Samantha Ramirez Garcia and her sister Nitza Ramirez Garcia did not arrive at school yesterday, which prompted the search to begin. We will be working to learn more about the girls and those search efforts throughout the rest of the day. Samantha is 15 years old and Nitza is 10. Both girls have black hair and brown eyes. If you have any information on their whereabouts, you're asked to contact the Kentwood Police Department at 616-698-6580. To Kalamazoo now, where two people were injured in a shooting earlier this morning. According to the Kalamazoo Department of Public Safety, the shooting happened shortly after midnight on Lilac Lane. The victims were said to have run over to a nearby liquor store for help. The victims were taken to a nearby hospital for treatment that were classified as minor injuries. The motive for the shooting is unknown at this time. It's also unknown if any arrests have been made in the shooting so far. A Corewell Health employee is accused of embezzling hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of bone grafts and then selling them. According to court records, Stephen Jacobson admitted to the thefts of the grafts and other medical supplies. It's estimated that he stole roughly $700,000 worth of bone grafts. Surveillance video shows Jacobson taking boxes of the grafts and then placing them into larger boxes to hide them. He admitted to doing this for about 6 years or so. Jacobson is currently out on bond but is expected to be back in court next month to determine if there's enough evidence for this case to go to trial. He faces up to 20 years in prison. We head up north now for this next story. An 18-year-old is facing several criminal charges, including attempted murder, for allegedly burning down his ex's family home. It happened in Crawford County over the weekend. Authorities say the fire broke out early Sunday morning while 4 people were still inside sleeping. They were able to make it out safely, but the home was considered a total loss. After talking with deputies, Antrim County authorities took 18-year-old Cameron Spencer in for questioning and eventually placed him under arrest. He was an ex-boyfriend of one of the children living inside the home. Spencer now faces a total of 8 felony counts. And now for an update to a story that we've been bringing you updates on since it began back in October. Some of the dogs who were rescued from a filthy pickup truck in a Walker parking lot last month are now ready to finally be adopted from the Kent County Animal Shelter. 17 dogs in total were taken by the shelter after they were found in that truck, and one of those dogs ended up having 2 puppies. So there are 19 dogs in total from this case. 9 of them are now up for adoption. Potential owners are invited to actually come and meet the dogs at the shelter today from 1 to 6 p.m. You can find out more information on each of the dogs right now over on our website, woodtv.com. And some big things are being planned for the Gerald R. Ford International Airport. We brought you the story about the planned new control tower, but now a spokesperson has confirmed to News 8 that there might be something else coming in the future. Officials are eyeing an on-site hotel to be added to the airport amid its current $600 million expansion project that includes additional gates and restaurants. The spokesperson did say, though, that the hotel aspect is still in a theoretical phase and also years away, but something to keep an eye on, especially as the airport will be packed this week as travelers are going to be traveling all over the country for Thanksgiving. And speaking of Thanksgiving, you're gonna want to know what to expect weather-wise, especially if you're heading out later today. Here is Storm Teammate meteorologist Sarah Flynn with a look at your forecast.
And good morning, West Michigan. We were starting off with a mostly cloudy Wednesday. In fact, we should dodge pretty much any precipitation today as temperatures work to top off in the low 40s. You'll notice that system that we were initially concerned about does indeed pass off to our south. It'll bring rain, a wintry mix, and eventually snow to central Indiana and portions of Ohio, so keep that in mind if you're traveling that direction. Here in West Michigan, dry tonight. Few isolated flurries possible into your Thanksgiving morning, but should actually be a mostly dry day. We won't start to see that lake effect snow really start to take shape until we head into those evening hours. hours. 38 will be your high, so similar to today, a touch more breezy as those winds come from the northwest at 5 to 15 miles per hour. The best chance that we have for snow comes on Friday, and we'll start to see those totals rack up relatively quickly. Portions of West Michigan, really localized to areas west of 131, could see isolated pockets of about 3 to 4 inches, potentially up to 6 inches, again, in some individual spots. Otherwise, the remainder of the area will likely get away with less than 2 inches. The lake effect snow chances continue into the weekend with cool temperatures.
All right, thanks, Sarah. And we end today's show with the news that the iconic Velvet Peanut Butter brand is coming back to Michigan, more specifically Detroit, as the founder of Atwater Brewing actually purchased the company and plans on bringing operations and production back to the Motor City. Velvet Peanut Butter hit shelves first in 1937 before being outsourced and ultimately out of production. It was brought back in 2008, but is now coming back to Michigan full-time. Owners did say, though, they don't know when that production will begin here in Detroit, but they guarantee it will be the same great taste fans have come to enjoy over the years. And that's going to do it for us today and really the rest of the week for the Daily 8. We're going to be taking a brief hiatus